Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Lauk. Welcome to Unmuzzled, a podcast. Today I'm doing something special. So this past week we actually talked to somebody that was a Like Roo applicant, and the story was just so special that I really wanted the podcast audience to hear about it. It's just remarkable how when a group of people come together, what we can do and how many people we can help. But in this particular case, the Hawaii wildfires really displaced a family and a dog, and it took a whole lot of people to help Tiki. And though the story is heart-wrenching at times, it turned out to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful story. So I'm about to play that for you. But before we do that, presenting sponsors. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our presenting sponsors. Canine Cruise is the place to take your pet. They offer dog and cat boarding, dog daycare, pet retail, and mindful day school. With over 12,000 square feet of indoor space and a spacious yard, they're the one-stop shop for professional pet care in Chicago. Bark Pouch makes mess-free lickable treats for a delightful time with your dogs. Reward good greetings, treat calm table manners, or enjoy a walk together with their easy-to-use pouch. With 5 irresistible all-human-grade recipes in 2 sizes, even picky pups find a favorite. One gentle squeeze and a quick lick of Bark Pouch treats, and you'll enjoy amazing attention, even when you're wearing gloves. Hopefully we're out of winter soon, though. Kiki's Corner Natural Pet Foods in downtown Winfield, just a block south of CDH Hospital on the railroad tracks. Kiki's has all your food and health aid needs for dogs and cats. Kiki's Corner for a healthy, happy pet. Thank you so much, sponsors. And now here's the interview that I did earlier this week with Cary and including Tiffany, the accountant for Like Roo Foundation. Hi, everyone. I'm already tearing up, and we didn't even start to tell this story. I'm already like a mess. I'm Sarah Lauk, the executive director at the Like Roo Foundation. I'm actually joined by our accountant, Tiffany, which it's very rare that we see her unless we're in the middle of our audit or it's Giving Tuesday. And then Cary is actually joining us from Hawaii, which I was telling him last week, I've never been there, and I feel like if I went, I would want to live there forever. So I'm so nervous about the first time I go, but I've got to get there. So the story is going to start with Tiffany, who was on a business trip, and eventually we're going to get to Cary, who I can't think of really a better story in the history of Like Roo Foundation, just of so many people coming together. But Tiffany, let's start with you.
Sure. Thank you. And Cary, it's awesome to have you here. So I'm proud to be able to meet you. So yeah, I was on a work trip in Maui of all places, like who gets to do that? And the conference that we were at was at the Westin Hotel. And I was at the bar, imagine that, and met a very nice bartender named Thomas. And normally I will say when I order a beer, I don't then ask the question, what is your passion? But the Westin in this case, on the name tags, Thomas was on his name tag. And then my passion is animals. So instantly I asked him about animals, and, I have dog and guinea pig tattoos on my arm. So I was, showing them off, and Thomas told me that he and his wife ran a rescue on Maui, and we just started exchanging stories. And then he told me about Tiki. And the more he went on, I heard this dog's plight and just displaced by the fires, he and his owner, and then his owner passed. And then Tiki, they found out he had cancer. And I was like, no shit. Like this has to be kismet, because Thomas, I do accounting for an organization that helps animals who have been diagnosed with cancer. And time difference or not, I reached out to Sarah and quickly filled her in on what I had just heard. And of course, Sarah being Sarah was like, yes, tell them, send me an email, let me know what's going on and how we can help. And then, the rest is history. And it was, I don't know, within days, it seems that Tiki had been scheduled for surgery, and we were able to help with that. But yeah, I will say one, Thomas is amazing, but credit has to go to the Westin and those. My passion is because that's what led me to talking to him more in depth. And yeah, it was amazing. So
It was, and I will say, Thomas, when he reached out to me, like Tiffany had already told me what was, and I said, whatever they need, but this just the whole story, I think, starting with the fires and then ending up to his owner passing away, unfortunately. Cary, before we get to kind of your part of the story, I think that we see these fires on the news, and to me, it's devastating. I'm like a news junkie, and I get like locked into news stories. But can you kind of tell us what it's like? Because I don't think if you have not experienced it, you don't really know.
Well, the day, August 8th, I mentioned earlier that I live in a place called Upcountry. It's Kula, and Sam's tripping in. We had watched the smoke from here. We can't see Lahaina town from where we are, but we saw what was happening from videos being shared. And I can't say there's a person on this island that has not been affected by what happened on August 8th. We we were told to prepare to evacuate where we are because of the upcountry fire on the same day. Lahaina, I've lived in Lahaina. I've been on this island for 30 years, and it just rips at your heart because that was such a quaint historical place and so many people lost their lives. And like I said, that fire and what happened has touched everybody on the island. From raising funds to housing people, to knowing somebody, to helping people with their, places where they can stay while attending funerals. It was devastating, and I just wanted to be any part to help people. So uh, the hotel I work at is really uh, a family friendly hotel. It's everybody's treated like family, and so yeah, your heart just hurts. It just really hurts.
Yeah, so hard. So here's how Cary comes into the story. Cary is working at a hotel that housed a lot of the people that lost everything, and he is at one of the few hotels that allows dogs. So Tiki and his owner were at your hotel. So kind of take it away from there. I know Thomas kind of the introduction came a little bit later, but yeah, tell us how this all loops.
Well, I had met Tiki and his owner during the course of my work at the hotel, and I've kind of known as the guy who I always walk around with dog treats in my pocket. So I would be giving Tiki dog treats, and they go about doing their business. I go about doing my business. And then at the end of January, I received a call at the hotel from a gentleman coming from Europe who's coming to visit his friend at the hotel. But for some reason, his friend wasn't answering the phone. And this friend from Europe had landed on the mainland and was staying there overnight and then catching the flight to Hawaii the next day. So I went to do a welfare check on his friend, and there was no answer to the door. I opened the door, and the first thing that caught my attention, believe it or not, was Tiki at the far end of the room. His tail was just wagging. He was happy to see somebody. And then I saw Tiki's owner, and it was obvious he was deceased. And so Tiki came running to me and got a little oven and walked out the door, and I got on my phone and did what I needed to do. And his friend, who had come from Europe, um, was given next of kin duties, basically, and took Tiki. And they thought they had arranged a home for Tiki. But in the meantime, he was staying with another guest who had dogs at the hotel, and Tiki was being taken care of there. About 5 days later, when the gentleman brought Tiki back to the hotel, he had some things to finish up with at the hotel, and asked him about why was Tiki not living on the farm where they were supposed to go. And he said, well, they could just never get together. And I told him, look, I had spoken to my roommate, and even though we have a dog and never planned on a second, I'd like to see if Tiki would fit in with our family. And he immediately just handed me the leash, and I knew Tiki had issues, but I was not going to allow Tiki to be in the system. So he'd already been through enough, and he'd been in that room for probably estimate 2 days with his deceased owner. So I brought Tiki home that night, and Tiki, who's sitting here chewing on a bone, just immediately just tail wagging and happy. And he met my dog, Sammy, who's over here looking off the balcony. And Sammy was a little cool because he'd been here 7 years by his lonesome. And Tiki was just happy. He was running everywhere. He's trying to get Sam to play. And my roommate immediately fell in love with him too. And I had sworn I would never own any part of a pit bull, but there's a smiling one over there. And Tiki fit in really quick and really well. The next week, after I brought him home, I drove over to Lahaina because the Maui Humane Society had a pop-up vet clinic for all the animals that were involved within the fires. So they looked at Tiki, and they checked him out for, his heartworm and all that. And they said he had quite a few growths on his belly, and a couple were seeping blood. And she said, Tiki's got skin cancer, and he's got it majorly all over his body. And so I started getting information from about organizations that could possibly help, because I was in no position to pay for a surgery because Sam has insurance, but Tiki no. So I got the estimate from my doctor or Sam's doctor and how much it would cost. And I started saying, I'm going to write to these organizations. And that's when Tom met Tiffany. And he's texting me as Tiffany's texting you. And I mean, really, it was very, excuse me. You came in and you saved Tiki's life. So, I mean, he's, he's such a good dog, and he's had such a raw hand dealt to him. But he just brings joy to everyone. There he is. Hey, Tiki. Hey,
Hi,
buddy.
buddy.
Hi.
Oh,
Oh, how handsome.
He is. And like I said, the thing is, they get along. uh, Sam is very, very patient, and they get along, and there's never been any fighting or even barking at each other. So that's really good. And I'm just thrilled. I mean, he's on. I took him on February 5th. On March 5th, after a month of wait, which I had to wait, he officially became ours. He's licensed to us. Um, he's got up to date on all his shots, and his chip has been switched to my name, so
It's
he's
official.
official. Yeah, it's official. And I wrote the friend one who lives in Europe. I text him a update, and that everything is great. He's a happy camper, and he's loving life here. And my God, we just love having him around. He brings joy. So Never say no.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you changed his life, and I can't imagine. Dogs are so resilient, but to get through the fire and still have your owner, and then lose the only thing that it's hard.
Yeah,
So hard.
yeah, it is. And this weekend, the Maui Humane Society comes down to the hotel. Not only do they provide uh, a distribution table, but every 3 weeks they come down and they basically have a car wash for dogs, and they any dog that and cats too, any dog or cat that needs a bath, they do at the hotel. We set up a tent in one of our parking lots, and so Tiki is going to go back to the hotel for the first time this Saturday and get a bath, which will be his first, which I don't know if he'll like it. But
Oh.
now that the stitches are all out and he's happy. I mean, that first day when we brought him home and he had no more stitches, and he'd finally roll over on his back and get a belly rub, and that little pity smile was going full on. He was just a happy camper, and he is. He's matter of fact, it's kind of a fight of who gets him which night.
It's so sweet. Well, Cary, he is for sure a Roo dog for life, and you're part of the Roo family. So if you need anything, let us know, whether it's a checkup, if he needs shirts, which I'm going to send you a muscle tee, whatever he needs. If there's something else pops up, we got you. So please know, he's part of our family, and so are you.
I can't tell you how much Live Like Roo has impacted our lives. I mean, yeah, family definitely. And I hope somebody gets that certificate that can come out and visit, and like Tiffany again. Oh no, Sarah this time, because Tiffany came last time.
Mm-hmm.
How about I take her with me? So I think we can say this. So the hotel that Cary works at has graciously donated a gift certificate for our dog prom in May, and that gift certificate actually will be available to anybody because it will be part of our online auction that anybody can bid on. So I know I'm going to be bidding on that because I want to meet Cary and Tiki and Thomas and everybody. So that was so generous of you, Cary, and I know the hotel really, we cannot thank them enough. So thank you. That's like one of our best prizes ever. Hi, Tiki. There's a teddy bear.
Yep. He brought it out.
Teddy bear. Yeah. Can you tell the story about the teddy bear, Cary, that you were telling me before?
Yeah, Tiki really likes that teddy bear. Now, Sam, when he got any stuffed animal, would tear it apart. But Tiki, no, he cares for that bear. He takes it with him, and when we get in the car to go on our hikes or to the dog park, he takes it with him, hops in the front seat of the car, and has it with him. And then before we leave the car, he places it on the dashboard, and then leaves it there and gets it when we come back. It's really funny, and yeah. So I hope to hear what's happening with the puppy prom.
Yes.
I
Yes.
want to find. I hope it's a smashing success, and yeah, you may see me as a bidder.
Yes, love that. Cary, thank you so much. Tiffany, thank you for being at the right place in the right time and drinking a little and then asking the bartender about his name tag. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
It's all the things I love to do. So
right.
It was meant to be. Something good was meant to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Cary, we love you. Again, your Roo family for life. Thank you for sharing the story. You have a much better background than Tiffany and I, and I'm so jealous of that.
I was like, I need to take care of that. Home renovation still in progress.
Yeah. Me too. Okay. It's been great. Thank you again so much.
Of course. We'll be in touch. Thank you. It really is an incredible story, and I keep getting updates from Cary. We sent him a bunch of shirts so that Tiki can make sure that the sun isn't hitting his very precious skin, and that skin cancer hopefully will be going away and all good. But it's a story that we'll keep following. Please follow Live Like Roo Foundation for more. But also, thank you for letting me share this incredible story this week on this platform. I think it's such a great story. It's very heartwarming and just, again, shows how a group of people can really make a difference. And special thank you to my supporting sponsors. Thank you so much to our supporting sponsors. Give the gift of joy and memorable moments of furry loved ones with a gift card from Kimberly Kingen Photography. For more details, please visit her website at KimberlyKingen.com or contact her directly at her email, kimberly@kimberlykingen.com. The Canine PT is Chicago's highest rated dog physical therapy clinic, and they're dedicated to enhancing the lives of your four-legged companions as they age or when recovering from an injury. They also offer a discount for rescue dogs. For more information, visit thek9pt.com. That's THEK9pt.com. Anything is Plausible is Chicago's premier dog training company. They offer group classes for every stage of your dog's life and have a talented team of behavior specialists to work through any issues that need modification using positive reinforcement. Check out Anything is Plausible. Liz Starks at Guaranteed Rate. Check with Liz for the absolute best mortgage options. She helps when others can't and even calls it rescue loans. Buyers, sellers, investors, give Liz a call. She can lend in all 50 states. NMLS number 224526. Thanks everyone for listening and watching. I really appreciate it. I'm Sarah Locke. I'll see you next week. Bye.